Hi there, and welcome to my channel. My name is Andy. I'm glad that you've joined me today. Would you believe me if I told you that what I'm wearing on my head is actually a wig? This is Estetica Jett, and this is a very cute asymmetrical pixie, and the color of it is 2/4. And we're going to talk about this in just a little bit. Before we get into talking about Jett and this cute style, I thought it would be a good time really for me to share with you why I'm doing this and how I came into wearing wigs and a little bit about me. So maybe you can feel a little bit more connected to me and who I am. But my name is Andy, I'm 56, and about 5 or 6 years ago is when I started noticing that my hair was thinning out on the top. We go back to when I was 50. We actually had some friends, some neighbors actually bring their puppy over and wanted us to meet their puppy. So as I was holding their puppy, I was introducing their puppy to our dog, and my husband snapped a picture and he sent it to me. And honestly, when I saw the picture, the only thing I saw, instead of that sweet little moment, the only thing I saw was my white part line and my white, I could see whiteness in my scalp around my part line. And I thought, I don't really remember seeing that in the past. I had worn a short pixie for probably 35 years in black or off black, really, really dark brown, if not black. So for me to see my white scalp was a little bit of a shock. And I was like, okay, something's going on here, right? So, you know, you fast forward that 6 years, and it was last year around January in 2024 that I decided, you know, I was going to start Googling, you know, shampoo for hair regrowth or vitamins to help your hair regrow or something like that. And we all know what happens at that point. You start getting ads and stuff like that. Well, I was getting on the treadmill one day and I had my iPad to watch a video of cooking or something like that. And I remember a video of these wig reviewers came up, and I was absolutely captivated from that point on. And honestly, I have not looked back after that. I decided, because I watched enough videos to know that if you're going to buy a wig, your first wig might want to be something that is similar to your bio hair. And so I found the darkest pixie I could find and what I liked as a pixie, and that was Estetica Jett. This just fit me to a T. And I will try to find a couple pictures and try to post them with this video here so you can see like what my hair has been like in the past. And you'll see that this one comes pretty close to what I have worn a lot of my life. But as I was thinking about, I've thought about doing a YouTube channel for a few months now, and I thought, why do you want to do a YouTube channel? And I thought, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write down why I wanna do a YouTube channel. And I'm gonna take the top 3 reasons, and I wanna share those reasons with you today. So I remember really well when I started on my wig journey a year ago that I really depended on different wig reviewers to show me these styles, because it's so hard to just see a picture of it or a swatch of a color and buy it from that, right? We should go and educate ourselves and make an informed decision before we spend. These are not cheap wigs, these are nice wigs. So before we spend the money, you know, you need to do your research. And these wig reviewers just helped me so much as I was researching my first wig and my second wig and my third wig and all the ones that have followed. But I just am so appreciative to them and for them taking the time to do that. And I thought maybe this is a little bit of my way of repaying it and paying it forward a little bit, is sharing with you what I've learned. And by trade, I'm a school teacher. I have in the past taught 9 through 12 business education. And I have thought, you know, I think most teachers consider themselves to be helpers. And I feel like that if I sat down and someone said, what's one of your personality traits? I think I would say I'm a helper. And so hopefully I can help you. And honestly, if I just help one person, then it's been worth it to me. That if they were to come and say, you know, it's because I saw you review a wig that I was able to find this style and it's become my favorite style, or something along those lines, it would be worth it to me. When I was looking at wigs, and even today, I find a lot of them are blondes, and they're beautiful blondes. I love a blonde wig. I've never worn anything blonde. I'm not saying I won't ever, but I'm tempted, but I just am so comfortable with a very, very dark brown or a black pixie. So that was my first reason, is I really would like to bring you these different styles and colors, and particularly brunettes, if that's what you're looking for. And the second reason is I wanted to be a small part in normalizing wearing wigs. I think wig wearing has come so far since when our moms wore wigs. They are just gorgeous styles. The fibers are so amazing. I mean, you can curl these wigs, so many of them. If they're heat friendly, you can. And they are just, they're worth wearing, they're worth enjoying, they're worth showing off. And so I would love to be a small part of the wig community online, helping to normalize, saying, thank you, I appreciate the compliment, this is a wig. And so that's the second reason. And the third reason is because in my new year of just turning 56, I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to step out of my comfort zone and do something that maybe isn't the most comfortable for me. I've never made a video. I've never edited videos. So this is all very new to me. I want to challenge myself to do things that are a little bit hard for me to do. Things that just I've never done in the past. And I think that's just part of us growing here on Earth, is just to really challenge ourselves. And when we stop growing and we stop having dreams, then, you know, then we need to relook at things. And so for me to start a YouTube channel and do videos, then, you know, that's something that I'm excited about. And my husband just retired this past January. We have a family business that I've been a big part of running. He's always helped me quite a bit, but now that he's retired, he is stepping in and he is helping me a lot. And so I have a little bit more free time to do something like this. And so I'm excited about this, and I hope that I can be of help to you as you're on your wig journey, maybe find you a style or two that you like. So that's a little bit about how I came into wearing wigs. It's a journey for each one of us. We all have a story to tell as to why we came to finding wigs, don't we? Perhaps you're just doing it for fun. Maybe you see these beautiful wigs and you think, hey, I want to be a brunette today if you're a blonde, or you want to be a blonde if you're a brunette. I want to try that blonde with that dark root in it. I think that would look good. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But there may be also those that have medical necessities that require a wig, or they want to wear a wig. And so maybe you're going through chemotherapy, maybe you have alopecia. That could be part of it. For me, it was menopause and hormonal changes, as well as, I believe, genetically disposed to my hair thinning. So we all have a story to tell, and I think that's what we always need to remember, is that we're a community of women together experiencing different things, and we just have to respect that and support one another. So a little bit about me is that I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I love to be outside. I love hiking, I love working in my flowers, I love birds, I love genealogy. I'm kind of all over the place with these things, but those are things that I do enjoy. My husband and I love to travel. We both love to play pickleball and tennis, and we actually entered our first pickleball tournament this weekend, so I'm excited and hope that goes well. So yeah, those are things that we enjoy doing. We actually just got back from a trip to Puerto Rico, and we went on the most amazing hike there, and I kind of wanted to do this in a different video. about the hike and how we can really compare that to our personal wig journey, because it was a really hard hike, but the end of that hike was certainly worth it. So I'm going to share that in another video about that hike, because it was certainly one that left a big impression on me. But you know, the wig journey isn't always easy. At the beginning, it's particularly difficult, I think, because it's so different. I remember when I got this wig, I put it on and my husband said, "Oh my goodness, Andy, that looks like your hair used to look like." And he was so right. My hair had thinned out to where I put it on, I'm like, no way, this is way too much hair. I cannot wear this hair. This is way too much. And he was like, no, that looks really good. He loved it from the time I put it on. And it took me a couple months, honestly, wearing it around the house before I felt comfortable enough to go out with it on. And I'll just tell you a little story about the first day I wore this out. It was not planned. I did not plan to wear this out. We were going to go to Sam's. I had done my bio hair. I have become really good friends at this point in my hair loss. I had become really good friends with something. I'll show it to you. It's called L'Oreal Magic Root Touch-Up Spray. This and myself, we became really good friends. I would go through bottles of this stuff, trying to cover up my white scalp. So this was actually the last bottle I bought, and this was a year ago. I should put the date on it. I'll probably always keep it just because I want a reminder of how far I've come, because I used to use so much of this. And I mean, there's a little bit left in it, but over the course of a year plus, yeah, I just don't ever buy it anymore because I wear a wig most days now. But the first time I wore this out, we were going to Sam's, and I did my bio hair. I put a sweater on. I looked in the mirror and my hair was nothing but static electricity. And I'm like, oh my goodness, my hair was sticking up everywhere. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I thought, I'm gonna wear my wig. I'm gonna put my wig on, I'm gonna wear it today. And so I went and I put it on. My husband came in the room and he was like, oh, you're wearing your wig. That looks so pretty. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna wear it today. I'm gonna wear it. So here we go into Sam's on a Saturday. It's busy. And I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was nervous. I was just, you know, thinking everybody was looking at me. And I found myself in the first few minutes of being in there, I was kind of hiding behind my husband. And I kind of just like jerked on his shirt a little bit. And I said, hey, I feel like everybody's looking at me and my hair. This is really too much. You know, I'm very uncomfortable with this. And he turned around and he looked at me and he said, I want you to listen. I want you to stop this. He said, if they're looking at you, it's because you look so beautiful in your hair. And he was 100% serious. And that's really all it took for me to straighten up and to walk with my head up and know that I had a beautiful head of hair on that day. And I want you to remember a saying that I heard early on in my wig journey. And it says this, it says, in the box, it's a wig, but on my head, it's my hair. And I had on a beautiful head of hair. This is my hair today. This is my hair. I went out and had lunch with a friend today, and this was my hair that I wore today. And so I want you to remember that. But the cutest part of that whole story was this. When we were going out and loading our stuff up in our car, I did not realize it, but two ladies, I believe were together, had followed us out to our car. And I turned around and there were these two ladies there. And they said, excuse me, but we just love your hair. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. And they said, are you a hairstylist by chance? And I said, no, I am not a hairstylist, I'm not. And they said, oh, okay, well, we just love your hair and we wanted to tell you. And I'm like, oh, they were like angels sent to me that day. As I look back on that story, they were like angels that were sent to me. And that may sound so trivial to some people that you got a compliment on your hair that day. But for me, it made my whole day. I got in the car and I said to my husband, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that they complimented my hair. But it just really gave me an extra boost of confidence. And sometimes, you know, that's all we need. We just need our little cheerleaders. And if you don't have a cheerleader in your home, I hope that I can be a little cheerleader for you, encouraging you just to wear the wig. You have to get yourself out there and wear the wig. You have to do it. You have to get out there for that first time. And I promise you, after that first time, it does get easier. So let's get down to business with Estetica Jett. It is a great asymmetrical style pixie cut. It's got layers in it, kind of, you know, you can make it messy, you can make it smooth. You know, probably when I first started on my wig journey, that's exactly how I would have worn it. But now, you know, you can make it, you know, flatter, or you can get in there at the roots and you can really, you know, pump it up there, pump up the volume. I'm an 80s girl, so I remember that song. And see that? Let's go over the measurements here. We've got 4 1/4 down here on the side. You've got 1 1/2 over here on this side. So you can see, you know, one side is a little longer than the other. I like to push mine back. But you've got 3 inches on the crown, which I like. I like that volume up there, but again, you can smooth it down if you want to. Then on the nape, you've got 1.75, and that's a great nape length in my opinion. Now I will tell you, I have a smaller than average head circumference. I have a 21 1/4 inch head circumference, 22 being average. This has a lace front on it that goes very deep. It's about 2 inches deep off the front here. And the lace on this one does fit me a little bit big, but it doesn't bother me. And I'll tell you why, because I never ever push the hair up off my forehead. I always keep it down in the front. So it doesn't matter to me if this had a lace front on it like this or if it had no lace front on it, just because I love this wig so much. Now, one thing I did want to mention is you can easily glue this lace front down if it doesn't fit you. I could glue this, you know, that would not be a problem at all if I wanted to glue this down and get it up off of my forehead. In fact, the model on Jett, it's like this really cool up off the forehead, spiky, edgy, really fun look. I've never tried that. Maybe I should try that. That's a good idea. So you can make them your own by just doing something as simple as that. Maybe you like to wear yours down on the side. You like that. I kind of like mine tucked behind. It's just the way I like it. But what I do like to do when I first get my wig out of the box, any of them, is I shake it by the nape. I'll take it and I shake it really, really hard. And then I spray some water on it. You know, I go all over it with some water. And I really get my fingers in there at the roots. And if there's something I would really love to do is to be able to help those of you that have trouble styling your wigs, particularly with pixies, because that's what I'm used to. But styling and making these your own, making these have a personality and making them shine. So that's what I enjoy doing, really. I love to just get my fingers in them and play with them and have fun. And because I haven't had a good head of hair for so long, it just feels so good to be able to put my finger in just good hair, you know, and that's what these look like, just good hair. So that's a little trick there, is just to use the water. I also love the Tressolure wig wax. This is great. So I spray it in at the roots, you know, just spray it in there at the roots and get my fingers in it, you know, just get my fingers in. They say that these are your 10 best styling tools right here, and they are on your hands, your fingers. So use your fingers. And the other thing I really enjoy is the Peace Out cream, the John Renault Peace Out cream. This has lasted me for a long time. I've had it for a year now, and you can see I use it quite regularly, but I just don't use much of it when I do use it. Here's the cap of Jett. We've got that very deep, about 2 inches deep lace front. It's open, wefted all the way around, so it's an open cap. It's got the closed ear tabs with metal stays. It also has the hook adjusters and an open extended nape, and the nape also has the metal stays in them. And also, I did want to mention, I am right in front of a big window right here in my house, so I'm getting natural light for the most part, and so you can see this color. But it is a really pretty off black, really, really dark brown in my opinion. So hopefully that helps you. Now, I'm a firm believer that some makeup and accessories can take a wig from being pretty to gorgeous pretty easily, actually. So with that said, if you have any styles of wigs that you would like to see me review, or some makeup products, you can leave them down in the comments below, and I'm going to keep a running list of those things, and you might see them on an upcoming video. But until then, I want to thank you for joining me on my first YouTube video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.